Greetings, traveler. In sports, when someone wins, they receive a medal. But in video games, nowadays all we get is a little pop-up achievement message and that's it. Would it make sense to have a physical reward for achievement in games? Today, I share my thoughts on this and what I think the pros and cons are of this type of reward. My name is Xanthos. I've been working on the games industry for over 13 years now. And other than the example of Nintendo featuring the amiibos with connection to their games, or collector's editions of games shipping together with a large figurine to reward the potential buyer for their devotion to the game and give them something long-lasting to remember the game by. I haven't really seen games ship out physical rewards to players. Even the last two examples I mentioned, they're not really rewards, so to speak. They're just added value, I suppose. But we all know that games ask us to do some pretty difficult things. And when the game recognizes our effort and our achievement, it feels all the more important, it feels all the better. YouTube itself sends out the famous YouTube plaques to people that score so many million subscribers and so on. So I was wondering, is this something that we in the game industry can take advantage of? And is this something players would love to experience? So I'm not sure what other people would think about this, so please let me know what you think down below. But going through my thoughts, I was thinking, when I'm playing a game and I do something really difficult, something that's worthy of the word achievement, I would like this to stay with me going forward. I would like to know that, how in Steam it says like 1% of players have this achievement and so on. I'd like that to be with me going forward, where when I'm old and I can't play games anymore, I'd like to look at something and say, you know what? You were in that 1%. You did it. That sounds really cool. So what are the pros of this situation, right? It's the recognition to the player. It's having something there that constantly reminds the player of what they did in the game, of the game itself, of the fact that not everybody gets this. Not everybody gets to experience this. There is something unique about the effort of the player. Also, there's a lot of potential here with connecting the content of the game to the physical world. So if you were, for example, when a player scores an achievement to send out a medal is cool, right? But what if instead you could use one of the models inside the game, something that represents something vital or closely connected to the achievement itself, to be the trophy of that achievement? So, for example, if you have a game about ninjas and your ninja did like a super stealthy run, no discovery, no swords, only using like hand-to-hand combat and so on, something really hard to do, supposedly, wouldn't it be cool to have a figurine of that ninja, like with no swords and using like only hand-to-hand to signify that that player managed this in this situation, and have that like be a testament as time goes on of that achievement? I think that would be really cool. But of course, there's cons to this, right? The logistics is a big one. So how would you track this? How would you make sure that everybody who got the achievement got the reward? How can you ship it to their address? How can you make sure that the material of the figurine or the trophy is good enough to make it a good trophy, and at the same time cheap enough to make sure that it's something that can be included with the price of the game? What about shipping costs? What about, problems in delivery or the figurine getting damaged in the process? I'm sure the more we think about this, the more problems are going to come up. But honestly, these are not problems that have never been solved before. Any company that makes board games, for example, or plastic models that are ready for assembly, basically they have to do exactly the same process when they're shipping out their products. So I'm sure all these problems, if not solvable, at least they have been solved in the past somewhere. So that is to say that all these problems, of course they exist, but they shouldn't be prohibitive to supply the players with this very cool, interesting trophy. Personally, thinking about the games I have played, I would love to have some trophies like this, and I wouldn't mind paying a bit of money, I don't know, for the shipping or for a better quality model and so on. I think that's something I would like to have with me when I'm old and I'm not able to play games anymore. I'm like, those were the good times. Anyway, these are my thoughts on this topic. I know it's something basically unheard of in the games industry. People as players, I don't think they've seen something like that before, but I hope I'm wrong. I hope that some of you out there have witnessed something like this. So by all means, please let me know what I don't know. Anyway, that's it for today. Thank you so much for your time. And as always, have fun.